Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Wednesday. Today I'm coming at you with a completely different video than something that I have ever done on my channel before. I told you guys on my first Storytime Saturday how my girlfriend came to acquire a Louis Vuitton piece that was not authentic. And I begged and pleaded with her to see if I could share it on my channel, and she finally said yes, so I'm super excited about that. And that way I can just show you guys, I can share some of the things that I saw that kind of gave it a dead giveaway, you know what I mean? Especially when I compared it to my piece. And by any means whatsoever, this is not the only way to tell if an item is a replica. No way, no how. You always, if you want to make sure that your piece is authentic, you always want to make sure that you get it authenticated. There are some online authenticators that will do it for a small fee, especially if you want to get that peace of mind, you know. And you know, I'm not one to impose my opinions on what anyone buys. If someone has money for something, they can spend their money on whatever they want. If you like the authentics, you go for the authentics. If you like the replicas, you go for the replicas. I don't care. I am not one to judge, you know, but like I said, I just think that this would be very beneficial if you, not beneficial, but just to be able to share some of the things that I saw. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the points that are, you know, very noticeable between both pieces. And I'm also going to give you guys some tips on what not to, you know, not to necessarily take out of the equation just because a piece has something. And I'll get into that in a minute. I'm pretty sure I'm not making any sense right now. But anyways, let's just get into it. I'm going to share the pieces and I'm going to let you guys take a look, and then I will let you know if it's authentic or if it's a replica. All right, here we go. Bam. Here are the two pieces. Okay, they are the exact same size. The exact same size. I measured them, everything. It's kind of crazy. So here is the front. Here is the back. Like I told you guys before, I'm not going to let you know which one's authentic and which one's real. Not just yet. Okay, I'm going to bring them up as close as I possibly can. Sorry, I'm looking I'm looking at the pieces as well. Okay, and I'm just going to spin them around. Okay. All right. So, what do you guys think? Have you made up your mind on which one is authentic and which one is the replica? I'm pretty sure you guys already know which one's which. But if you said that the one on the left, so your right, is the authentic, then you are correct. This is mine and this is my girlfriend's. But you know, like I told you guys before, it would have been nice if had I been able to show you guys what it looked like in the beginning, you know, but I wasn't able to do that. So I mean, it took me this long to be able to convince her. But okay, now some of the things that I wanted to point out in the beginning, not to rule out as far as a replica. So as you can see, that this one is a little bit brighter. The monogram is a little bit brighter. Remember, this one's the authentic, this is the replica, and this one seems to be a little bit shinier and a little bit more dull. You can't really base it off of that, because as you guys know, as canvas ages, it will start to kind of get, you know, the shiny effect to it, and the monogram will start to lose a little bit of its brightness, so it won't look like this. So that's what I said before. You can't base it off of, you know, one's just shinier than the other. You know, one might think that this is just an older piece, and I've had a few pieces from Louis Vuitton, especially SLGs, that look more to this than they do to this, you know, and they were authentic. So you cannot rule it off of that. Another thing is the Vachetta. Now, the Vachetta, it's always a little bit tricky because you never know if someone, if a piece is a replica, you never know if someone kind of dyed it. You don't know if someone used leather conditioner to make it look more so like the patina that you get on an authentic piece. But again, you cannot say that, you know, because this is the darker Vachetta and this is the lighter Vachetta, that automatically this is the replica. You know what I mean? Because again, as pieces age, you will start to see that the Vachetta starts to get a little bit darker, and you know, it'll start to get a lot darker, especially if you use leather conditioners, you know, in the beginning. So that's just one thing to note. All right, and another thing that I also want to let you guys know that you cannot base it off of is the varnish. As you can see, the one on the left, which is the authentic, your right has very, very you know, noticeable varnish, and this one does not. Again, as pieces age, they will lose their varnish, especially once you interact with them. They will start to they will look more like this than they do to this, you know, within a few years, or depending upon how much you use the piece. So as I said before, there are a few things that you can't just automatically write off as a replica. You can't write off the color of the canvas, because I've even told you guys before in some of my videos that canvas tends to change, even if they're brand new pieces. Damier Azur, Damier Ben, and Monogram, you know, some of them have slightly different colors, and that's okay. It's just there are different rolls of canvas that they use for the piece. So you can't write off the color of the canvas. You can't write off the wear on the vachetta, and you really can't write off the varnish. So those are the three main things that I want to let you guys know that replicas and authentics have, and some of the older authentics will have these as well. So like I told you guys before, don't write them off on those. Okay, so now let's get into the main details as to what I saw. Number one, this piece, which is the replica, is extremely lightweight compared to this one. It is still a very small SLG, but regardless, it feels like a piece of paper. It doesn't have much weight to it, whereas this one does. So when I first felt it, I just it felt kind of weird. Another considerable difference is the zipper. Now this is where I'm going to try to bring it up as close as I possibly can. Hopefully the camera will be able to pick it up. Okay, so remember, this one is the authentic and this is the replica. So I wanted to share with you guys the zipper pulls. Now, there are some zipper pulls for Louis Vuitton that now have very, very bright brass, but I'm talking about these in specific. You will notice the biggest difference between them is that this brass here is extremely shiny and this one here is a little bit more dull. It has more of that brushed gold hardware to it. And that is one of the things that I've noticed. I've looked on a lot of my pieces and they have all of these. Most of the pieces that have this zipper pull are very, very dull. There are some pieces that I have seen that do have the brighter brass, but besides the brass, there's something extremely noticeable between the two. Can you guys see what it is? The most noticeable thing that I can see, I don't know if you guys can check it out, is the little indentation that you see on the zipper. Do you see how this one right here has a little bit more of a rounded, you know, shape to it? This one has more of a precise edging to it, if that makes any sense. Let me see if I can bring it up a little bit closer. I don't know why. There we go. You can see that this one just is a lot more rounded than this one. Another thing to note is the D-ring on the zipper pull. See how this one is a little bit more proportionate. You can see how the zipper, the D-ring, the zipper part here, and the opening of the SLG are extremely proportionate. They look like they're, perfectly aligned, versus this one has a little bit fatter of a D-ring. This one is a little bit more narrow. Okay, and that's another thing I want to show you guys. Check out the opening of the pieces. All right, so the left one is the authentic, or so you're right. And check it out. The replica here, the zipper is pretty much all the way to the canvas, the edging. This one has a little bit more of a gap, kind of like the canvas clays have the gap. Okay, but check that out. It goes literally to the edging. All right, now another thing I wanted to share with you guys are the teeth. Check out the teeth. The teeth on the replica seem a little bit more they seem farther apart, and the one on the left, which is the authentic, or your right, seems like they're a little bit tighter together. Okay, and the teeth seem a little bit longer on this one versus this one. All right, do you guys see that? Okay, now there's another thing that I wanted to share with you guys that I have noticed on every single piece of my Louis Vuitton collection, and that is, check out the fabric, the woven fabric on either side of the zipper. This is the authentic, this is the replica. I'm going to bring it up again as close as I possibly can. Do you see how the one on the right here, or your left, has a little bit more of the woven fabric, seems to kind of be a little bit wider, a little bit looser, yeah, a little bit more loose. And this one here has them extremely, extremely tight. I mean, the woven effect that it has is just, it looks like it's perfect. Do you guys see that? Crazy, right? Also, you can tell that the fabric color, this one has more of a chocolate brown, dark chocolate brown. This one looks more like a, I don't know, it almost looks like a plum milk chocolate. Is that even a color? I don't know. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. All right. So I told you guys about the teeth. I told you guys about, well, obviously the hardware, the fabric, the opening, the zipper pull. Now let's get into the inside, because the inside is another thing that I want to share with you guys. Now, the zippy coin purse, or the round coin purse, has a has cross-grained leather on the inside. So as you can see, it's extremely prominent, and there is the stamping. This is the authentic. It says Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France. And this is the replica. It has the same type of effect to it, the cross-grained leather, but the stamping makes it look almost like it's a sticker. And any stamping that you get on any SLG will look hot stamped. Let me see if I can bend it a little bit better. There we go. It'll look hot stamped. Even though they are black letters, they will have a little bit of a gray hint to them, or a tint. And this one just looks extreme. It just looks black, and it honestly looks like a sticker. It looks like someone just stuck a sticker on there. And if I was to rub that off, it would completely come off. If you were to rub this off, you might take off the, you know, the black letters, but you will still see an indentation of the heat stamp that they used to be able to put the made in, you know, Louis Vuitton, made in wherever. So check that out. Obviously, this one's a little bit dirty because she's used it quite a bit. But check that out. So you can see the huge difference. Also, another thing that you can tell is the font. There are some ways to tell with the font. Like I told you guys, it's really hard with some of the replicas now because they're just extremely, extremely well made. And you can always Google them. You can go online and see, you know, some of the better details as far as the font goes. There's no way that my camera is going to be able to pick up the font clearly for you guys to see, so that's why I advise you guys to check it out online. And if I can find a few articles, I'll make sure and link those down below in my description box as well. Okay, and then also always the biggest dead giveaway is the date code. There are a few different date codes that Louis Vuitton has made throughout the years, but this one, let's see what this one says. I'm having such a hard time seeing. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this one says MI 1069. So if you were to translate that to what the date code is, that, you know, that it goes to this piece, or, you know, that goes to that time, it was MI, which is France. And 16, you take the first and the third number, and that is the week. And the second and the fourth number is the year. So this would be the 16th week of 2009. So obviously you would think, okay, it was made in 2009. It has great, you know, great patina. It's already aging. The hardware looks like it's aging. It must be an authentic piece. Just, you know, it just looks a little bit old. But, you know, the stamping looks really, really funky on the inside of the, let me see if I can show you guys, of the date code here. Check that out. Usually I have found with date codes with Louis Vuitton, a lot of the pieces, I think the majority of pieces have the date code. And, you know, I've told you guys about the date code before. They seem to be a little bit closer to the edging, a little bit closer to the stitching. If you have a microfiber piece, it's, oh my goodness, it seems like it's impossible to find the date code. You know what I mean? But it just looked a little off. And it, again, the reason why I said it was a dead giveaway is because it had the same type of, you know, the black letters that just seemed like someone just really just put them on there with permanent marker. Check that out. Sorry if you guys hear the barking. It's my neighbor's dog. But there it is. And, you know, because it's so lightweight, I don't know. It makes me wonder if it's just vinyl, if it's just plastic on the inside made to look like leather. I don't know. It smells obviously like a whole lot of coin, but for the most part, it just it just doesn't really seem like leather. Versus this piece, the leather on the outside smells, and the inside, even though I have used this quite a bit, you know, and even though I have used this for quite some time now, and I always use it, it's always filled with coin, it still smells like leather. I mean, you still have that coin smell to it, but it still smells like leather. I don't know why I said that twice. All right, but there you go. So what do you guys think? You know, like I told you guys in the beginning, you can't base it off of solely, you know, the Vachetta. You can't base it off solely off the varnish and the color of the monogram or the canvas, you know, because pieces age and they will look a lot different, you know, throughout the years. But hopefully I was able to help you guys out. Like I said, I really wish I was able to share what the piece looked like in the beginning, because it was so much closer to this piece, and it was just like jaw-dropping, you know what I mean? But still, it felt a little weird. It felt a little funky. But check it out once again. What do you guys think? You know, as I told you guys in the beginning, again, this is not the only way to be able to tell if a piece is a replica. You always want to get your pieces authenticated if that's what you want to do. You know, but these are just some of the things that I wanted to share that really kind of made me raise an eyebrow and it made me think, okay, no, this piece is not authentic, you know. But thank you so much to my girlfriend for being such a good sport and allowing me to share this with you guys, and I really hope you all enjoyed it. So here we go again. Authentic replica. All right, you guys, so thank you so much for watching. Like I told you, also I will make sure and link the story time video on the description box below if you're interested. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later this week. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.